thank you so much for that, Edward. I'm here with a very, as you put it, a very important lady. Sitting in front of me, she does not do interviews very often. In fact, this may be the first time she's ever had a sit-down interview. But she's agreed to do it. Please welcome none other than Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
One thing that is not commonly known about you is that you have a long history with Canadian football.
Yes.
In 1910, your father, George VI, then a young man, was gifted a Canadian football helmet by Earl Grey himself, the then Governor General of Canada.
Yes.
It clearly meant something to him, so much so that he kept it around long enough that a couple decades later, it became a matter of some fascination for his young daughter.
Yes.
Did you ever try to pick up that helmet?
It's so heavy.
I happen to know, and you revealed to me earlier during our pre-interview, that when no one was around, you would sneak into his office and you would pop that helmet on your head.
Fortunately, my father and I have about the same sort of shaped head.
Wow. Now, that must have been something. What was that like?
Not very comfortable.
Now, when you had that helmet on your head, did you ever try running around the palace with it on?
Yes.
What was that experience like?
And you can't look down.
And one day your father walked in and he saw you and you told him, "Papa, I want to play Canadian football." And without missing a beat, he said that you could not do that. Why couldn't you do that?
Because if you did, your neck would break, it would fall off.
And from that day on, you had to keep it a secret. Now, I understand that you were actually able to see a Canadian football game after your first visit to Canada in 1951 as Princess Elizabeth, Duchess of Edinburgh.
Yes.
Officially, you were attending a Toronto Maple Leafs game, and that's what the history books reflect. But I'm told that you actually sneaked out of that Maple Leaf Gardens and made your way down to Exhibition Stadium to watch the Argos play the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Yes.
That's wild. I'm picturing you as a young princess sneaking out of the gardens and rushing down Main Street.
You can only go at a walking pace.
Oh, right. Of course. You don't want to be attracting any kind of attention. So you're walking down Yonge Street, and then you hang a right onto Queen, named after your late great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria. Is that correct? Now, when you got to the game, did you enjoy the game?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, did you know also that our American cousins play football as well? Have you had the opportunity to view the American version of Canadian football?
Yes.
Oh, you have? You have. That's wonderful. And what did you think of their version of our game?
You see, it's much smaller, isn't it?
That's very true. The field is smaller. The end zone is smaller. Except the roster. The roster is really the only thing that's bigger. They have a 53-man roster instead of a 46-man roster like we have here. What do you think about having a roster that size, a 53-man roster?
Very unwieldy.
Yes, of course. Now, you've had to do a lot of scouting in your time. Of course, when you're a young girl, I understand you like to scout horses.
Yes.
And later on, you would have to look at staff for your palace. When you're trying to bring somebody on, if you say you're a general manager and you wanted to bring somebody onto your roster, what would you be looking for?
I mean, look at the size of the man.
Yes, the size. You want much more of a big football team that can really just grind the ball down the field. Now, I've taken up too much of your time already. Do you have any wishes for the future of Canadian football?
It stays. I mean, it just remains itself.
I like the monarchy. Thank you so much.